Hello and welcome. Thanks for tuning in to this short little yoga session. We're gonna focus on movement today. So whether you've been sitting in a chair or in a car or whatever it might be, this practice is just gonna be about 20 to 30 minutes to just help get you moving. So let's go ahead and start in a seat first, because even if you have been seated already, this is something that you might be able to do while if you start in a seat. So we're gonna just go ahead and start to tune into your breath by pulling the navel into the spine and lifting the heart up. So a couple breaths here just allows us to get the heart moving and our chest kind of activated. And again, tuning into the breath. So let's take 2 more breaths like this, inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you round. And then once you come into that comfortable upright seat, just start to tune into your breath. So even before we start with our movement, we're going to switch gears from whatever activity we were doing. If it's first thing in the morning, we're going to focus on the breath to wake you up. If it's after the workday, you're going to let go of anything that came before this and just tune into the breath. Let go of that exhale. Focus on the body in the here and now. Letting go of anything that came before this. Letting go of anything that is going to come after this. Take 2 more breaths like this. As we tune into the breath, we take that nice deep breath in through the nose, letting it rise up all the way to the crown of the head. As you exhale, let the breath release down all the way down to the sit bones. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale. And another exhale. And then let's just go ahead and take a few moments here to lift the arms up, reaching through the fingertips. Maybe the eyes are open now. You can keep recording if that's more comfortable for you, or you can let them watch the hands as they lift. As you exhale, release them down. Let's do 2 more like that, reaching up and exhaling down. Lifting. This time you're going to turn to your right, looking over that right shoulder, left hand drops onto the right knee. Nice deep breath in. As you inhale, arms rise up. Let's twist over towards that left side. Right hand is on the left knee, left hand is behind you. Just gazing over that left shoulder. Finding that twist and movement through the center. And on the inhale, we'll lift those arms up overhead and then bring them forward to cross over those legs. If it's comfortable, let your head release. Maybe you feel stretched through the hips or the back. Take 1 more breath like this. And then walking hands in. Bring your fingertips to point away from your body. Knees are going to be bent and the feet are going to be planted on the earth. So you're going to be in this little M shape. And then just let your knees sway side to side. Sideways, side to side knees. And then lift the heart. Staying here, just pressing heart forward. Or maybe you want to lift your hips up, coming into that reverse table. If it feels comfortable for your neck and head, you can release that back. 1 more breath. Exhale, bringing that seat to the earth. And then let's just make our way over onto our hands and knees, coming into that tabletop position. Again, this is a nice way to start your day or finish your day. Just getting a little movement into the body. So here we're gonna move in and out of some cat-cows, lift hard, round and in this arm, moving in this way with your breath. So inhaling as you lift the heart, exhaling as you round this arm. Letting the hips sway side to side, if that feels good, and making some barrel rolls through the center. Just kind of moving the upper body and the hips in whatever way feels good. So let's take about 3 to 4 more breaths like this. Inhale, exhaling, release. 2 more. And exhale. Let's go ahead and bring those toes together. Sink your hips back into a child pose. In this position, maybe your forehead comes onto the earth. If not, that's fine too. You're just going to stretch through the fingertips just to feel the stretch through the back body, the arms, and allowing us to just kind of transition for the next movement. Good. Next breath in lifts you back into your hands and knees. A couple cat-cows just to reset. And then prepare for a downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck those toes and shift the hips back. So if for any reason this isn't a comfortable position for you, you can always take tabletop pose and this kind of cat-cow, or you can come into this down puppy, which is extending the arms and keeping the hips lifted, and that might take off some pressure from the wrists. So those are always an option when we come into a downward facing dog. So we're going to press those heels down to the earth, lift through the tailbone, and maybe even shake the head out. No, not a yes. On the next inhale, let's go ahead and lift that right leg up. Keep those hips square. Maybe roll that ankle out. Inhale, lift, and then as you exhale, bring that right foot forward between your hands. And it might take a few steps to get it there. Otherwise, you bring it between the hands. So if you have blocks at your home, or water bottle, or anything that might just bring that ground to you a little closer, you can use them here. We're going to step the feet out so that they're wide. You have a wide base, so they're more like on train tracks than on a tightrope. So once you've established this strong base, we're going to rise up into our high lunge. So notice the left toes are rooted, but the heel is lifted. Hips and knees are facing forward. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, and then as you exhale, cactus those arms and bend that left knee. Inhale up, exhale, cactus. Moving with your breath. Inhale, and exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale, and exhale. 1 more. Inhale, and exhale. Holding those cactus arms, squeeze shoulder blades together. Inhale. As you exhale, let's bring those hands to the earth. We're going to plant that left hand to the block and twist over towards that right bent knee. Reach through the fingertips here. If it feels better, you can always drop that right hand to the hip. 1 more breath. Exhale, bring both hands to the earth. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way, frame that right foot, and step back into my plank pose. Always the option to bring the knees to the earth as well. Otherwise, we're going to lower ourselves all the way or halfway. Inhale through low cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck those toes, shifting it back, downward facing dog. Good. So again, down dog, tabletop or puppy. Always an option. Shake that head out, no. Not a yes. Lift through the tailbone. Feel that nice stretch through the back of the legs. Next inhale, let's lift that left leg up. Again, we can roll those ankles out, reaching it back as far as it'll go. Inhale. And then as you exhale, bringing that knee towards the nose as you bring the foot between the hands. Setting up that nice strong base. Right toes are rooted, hands can come to those blocks. Find stability, and then rise on up. Reach through our fingertips. Feel the strong base of that high lunge. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. As you exhale, bend elbows and bend that right knee. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades, bend that knee. A couple more like that. Moving with your breath. Inhale. that inhale. And exhale, holding this pose with that bent knee, squeeze shoulder blades together. One more inhale. As you exhale, both hands to the earth. We'll plant that right hand to the earth or the block and peel that left arm up. Reach through the fingertips. Keep that knee of the bent leg in towards the midline, just for a little bit more stability. Take one more breath here. Exhale, both hands to the earth. Blocks out of the way, step back, plank pose, or bring the knees to the earth. As you exhale, lower all the way or halfway. With the inhale, lift up, low cobra or upward dog. As you exhale, shift those hips back and come into your downward facing dog. Let your neck and head release. Press the hips to the sky. So you're really lengthening through the tailbone. Take one more breath like this. And let's all come into child pose. So bring the toes together. Knees can be nice and wide. And you're just gonna take a little stretch here. Maybe the forehead is on the earth. Maybe you feel that energizing through the arms as you reach the fingertips towards the top of the mat. One more breath. And then let's walk the hands over towards the right side. Find some length through that left side body. One more breath. And then hands walk over through center, reaching to the top of the mat. And then walking them over to the left. So it's nice to have a balance between effort and easeful poses. So our effort was with our lunges, and now we find that ease in that child's pose. One more breath here. And then walking hands back to center, forehead to the earth, fingertips to the top of the mat. On the inhale, come up onto tabletop pose. Let's shift back into downward facing dog or stay in that tabletop pose. And then we're all gonna make our way to the top of the mat, coming into a nice deep forward fold. We're gonna keep those knees bent. Rise up into a chair pose. So the hips are pressing back, arms are extended. Just feel that strength of the root for 2 breaths. And then exhale, one more. Inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Next inhale lifts you up halfway. Inhale. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, sweep arms all the way up to standing. Come through a slight back bend. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. So we're gonna focus on a little balancing work. And what you'd like to do is find something in your space that's not moving that you can keep your eyes focused on. So it might be something just off in the distance. It might be the ground in front of you. Whatever it might be, find that gaze or that drishti point that you can keep your eyes on to help you focus and anchor. So we're gonna root down through this left leg, and we're gonna start by rooting those right toes onto the earth. So we're gonna move into a tree pose, and this might be exactly where you stay with this right heel connected to the right ankle. You might decide to bring that right foot to the calf, or you might bring that right foot into the inner thigh. Wherever your foot lands, just pull up through the center of your being, engage through the core. That's gonna help stabilize your back. And then hands can stay at heart center, or maybe they lift up. Maybe there's some waving and wobbling going on. That's normal, natural, and encouraged. Honor whatever your body does at this point. So I'm gonna shift my position to show you the next move. We're gonna stay in that tree pose. Right knee is bent and the foot is pressed into the thigh. As long as it's not pressed on your knee joint, anywhere along the leg is a good choice. Inhale as you reach those arms a little further high. And then as you exhale, bring those hands to heart center. We're gonna transition into a warrior 3. That right knee is gonna come in towards the midline. And then as you exhale, you're gonna press that right foot back. So coming into this warrior 3, again, if those blocks are handy, you could bring them underneath you for a supported warrior 3. Otherwise, your hands can be at heart center, extended back, maybe even in front. Take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, gently drop that right foot to the earth and come into your warrior one pose. So that left knee is bent, right foot is rooted, and the toes are kind of at a 45-degree angle. Reach through the fingertips, extend, lift through the heart, inhale. As you exhale, let's open up into a warrior two position. So our right knee is bent, our left knee is bent, our right heel is rooted. We're gazing over that left middle finger. Pulling in through the low belly, strengthening through the low back. Breathe. Take 2 more breaths here. Good. As you're ready, flip those palms. Reach forward. As you exhale, reverse your warrior. So here's some opportunity for a little more breath movement. So this is our reverse warrior. As you exhale, let's bring that left elbow to the left thigh. Come through a side angle pose. So this right arm can reach up overhead, that bicep just grazing by the ear. So then let's move with our own breath. So inhale, reverse that warrior. Exhale, sweep it forward, side angle pose. So you can let that left elbow just tap onto the left thigh, or you could let it just kind of graze through the front. So kind of dropping it in front of the belly. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, sweep it forward. Moving with your breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, sweep it forward. Nice movement through our upper body, keeping that lower body steady and stable. One more time. This time as we come back into that reverse warrior, we're gonna stay here. This right arm can stay towards that right thigh, and then we're gonna just straighten that left leg and extend that left arm, coming into an exalted triangle. So you're reaching through the the left fingertips, and then eventually we're gonna parallel those arms, reach with the left fingertips forward, this right hip reaches back, and we're coming into a triangle pose. Lifting through the heart, opening up through the belly, hips, and chest. Again, these blocks coming in handy to just bring that ground towards you. So this can also be done up against a wall if you have that space. So if you want to step back and lean up against a wall, that's an option too. And we're going to move into another pose called half moon pose. So I'm going to take a little bend in my left knee. I'm going to bring that block or water bottle, whatever we have, in front of that left foot, and then lift that right leg up. So again, lifting it up. Again, if you're against the wall, this might be a nice option to just kind of lean your backside against it. That gives you a little bit more stability. A chair would also help for your hand. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Lifting as if you're pressing that right foot to the back wall. 1 more breath. Inhale, extend, engage through the core. Exhale, let's bring the feet to the earth and both hands in front. Come into a nice deep forward fold. Bend into the knees. On the inhale, come up halfway. As you exhale, fold it forward. With an inhale, sweep arms up. Rise up through a slight back bend. We're going to come into this equal standing pose, Samasthiti. We're going to move through a flow, just kind of wring ourselves out, and then we'll move through that same flow, leading with the left leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to knees, chin, finding that flat back. As you exhale, fold it forward, plant the hands, step back into your plank pose, or bring the knees to the earth. As you exhale, lower all the way or halfway. With the inhale, lift up, low cobra or up dog. As you exhale, top toes, shift it back, downward facing dog. Take a breath or 2 here. Pedal the heels. You can always come to your knees or come into child's pose. Just take a moment here, lifting through the tailbone, shaking that head out, no, nodding it, yes. And then let's walk our feet and make our way
to the top of our mat. Coming into that nice deep forward fold, belly to the thighs. One more breath here. And then with the inhale, we'll bend at the knees, sink those hips back, come through your chair pose. Feeling that strength of the core and the root, the thighs, the feet grounded. One more breath. As you're ready, rise on up. Let those arms come down to your side. Let's start off in mountain pose now. So here we are in mountain pose, hands by our sides, shoulders can roll a little bit. We're gonna root down through this right leg now and find our tree pose with our left leg. So again, left heel to the right ankle is an option. Left foot to the calf, bringing it up to the inner thigh. Whatever you do, we're not gonna press our foot towards our knee joint. And then hands can kind of adjust and play around, staying at heart center, or maybe extending to the sky. Maybe you close your eyes. That'll definitely adjust the balance. If we're pulling up through our core, that's gonna lift everything up. And we're finding that drishti, or something to gaze at, that's gonna keep our eyes focused. Let's take 2 more breaths here. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, let's shift the hands towards that heart center. That left knee comes in towards the midline. And then as you exhale, you're going to shift that left leg back, moving into your warrior 3 position. So finding blocks or a chair or anything for support, you kind of keep that steady first, or bringing the hands to heart center, or back, forward. You play around with what works for your hands. We'll take 2 more breaths here. One more inhale, and then exhale, drop that left heel down, right knee's bent, come through your warrior 1. So leading with that right knee is bent, shoulders are relaxed, as if you're holding a big ball above your head. Pull that low belly in to kind of feel that engagement through the low back as well. One more breath here. As you exhale, open up warrior 2. So our right knee is bent. We're gonna gaze over that right middle finger. Just keeping that root solid and stable. And then we'll move through our flow. So you're reaching arms forward, and then exhale, reverse that warrior. Inhale here as you reach those right fingers back, and then as you exhale, side angle pose. And just like on the other side, we're gonna move with our breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Either dropping that elbow to the thigh, or just kind of bringing it in front of you. Whatever works, whatever feels most natural. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Couple more times like that. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, sweep it forward. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, sweep. Last one, inhale, reach it back. Exhale, sweep it forward. This time we're gonna reach it and stay here in that reverse warrior, and then come through our exalted triangle. So that right arm reaches to the sky, and we have straightened the right leg a bit. Try not to lock that knee out, but just giving it a little bit more stretch or straighten than in that deep bend. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, we're gonna parallel those arms, reach that right arm forward, and that shift that left hip back, right hand to the inner thigh, inner calf, or our handy block. Reach that left arm to the sky, opening up the hips, the chest, the belly. Yeah, feeling that stretch and openness of the body. And then as we get ready, we're gonna root down through that right foot. We're gonna take a step back, root down to that right foot, block comes in front of that right foot, move our way into our half moon pose. So again, you can bring that left hand to the hip or keep it extended, honoring the wobbles and the movements that come up. Take 2 more breaths as if you're pressing that left foot towards the back wall, opening up the heart. 1 more breath. Exhale, both hands, both feet come towards floor, and come into that nice deep forward fold. Let your neck and head release. On the inhale, come up halfway. As you exhale, fold it all the way forward. With an inhale, let's sweep our arms all the way up to standing. Come through that slight back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna move through a flow. So you can always skip the flow and just end up in child's pose. So your choice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands, step back. Plank pose, always the option to bring the knees to the earth. As you're ready, lower all the way or halfway. With an inhale, lift up, low cobra, up dog. Exhale, tuck toes, shift back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath or 2 in down dog, lifting through the tailbone, shaking the head out, and then find that child's pose. Notice the balance between effort and ease. Let that forehead massage on the earth. Extend the fingertips to the top of the mat. Take 2 deep breaths. And then we're going to come upright into our seat. Taking a moment just to lift our shoulders up and back. And then eventually making our way into our seat. Coming into a boat pose. We're going to focus a little bit on the core here, and then we're going to bring ourselves all the way onto the earth. So, arms are going to extend out, feet can stay rooted onto the mat, toes can be just touching, or you can lift your legs so that the calves are parallel. Either way, you're just going to kind of keep that seat rooted, and then you're going to go ahead and extend legs and lower yourself. Upper body and lower body to the earth. Good, take a nice big good morning stretch, reaching arms up overhead, toes point to the end of the mat. Bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. Massage that low back. So from here, you can bring your hands to the back of your head, or you can make this little diamond shape and bring them underneath, kind of right at the sacrum. And then depending on where it feels good for your body, you're going to leave your knees bent, and we're going to just tap the feet, 1 foot and the next. Inhale, exhale. You're just going to kind of let your legs and toes touch the earth. So a little work for the low belly. 1 foot and then the other foot. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, and inhale. A couple more like that. And then release, bring those knees into your chest. 1 more little session for the core, hands behind your head. We're gonna just do some yogi bicycles. So, lifting the heart and the chest, you're gonna exhale as you bring that right elbow to left fat knee. Inhale, exhale, opposite. Let's do that about 10 times. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Exhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. And then bringing those knees back in, squeezing them into your heart. And then taking a few moments to just stretch and release. And I like to have my hands on my knees and let the knees kind of roll out to the side and then come back in. feet come together. You press your heart towards it. And then the last movement, we're gonna let the arms come out of the T. And you're gonna let your knees just sway side to side. Allowing the body to rest and restore and balancing between effort and ease. A couple more breaths here, just letting the legs sway side to side. If it's calling to you, you can let them drift to one side and release. And then make sure you do the other side. And then we'll just come into that restful Shavasana. So legs are just on the earth, arms are out at a T or by your side. Just let the body let go and stay here in this stillness for at least 5 breaths. If you're able to, you can stay longer. But having that moment of stillness and quiet is important for our body. We're moving and active so much of our lives that finding those restful moments is just as important as all the doing. Just being. When you're ready, if you're ready, you can either stay grounded in your Shavasana for as long as you like. If you're ready to come up to a seated position, maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. Take that nice big good morning stretch. Make your way to a comfortable seat. We can finish where we started in this seated position. And then we'll take a nice deep breath in together, arms up, overhead, inhale. As you exhale, offering gratitude for this land, we move on this practice of yoga and our body and breath that moves us through our days. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. May this practice nourish you and carry you through your day. Namaste. Thank you for participating. If you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe and like, and you'll get those videos right into your inbox. Hope you enjoy your day and feel energized by a little bit more movement. Take care.